Right, the quest to restore the value of the Naira against the dollar has led to several monetary policy decisions by the Central Bank of Nigeria. One of such is the decision of the CBN to question huge funds going through the Binance channel without proper identification. As a result, Binance has suspended its services for the Naira due to an ongoing regulation in the country. In a statement on Tuesday, the company advised users to withdraw, trade their Naira assets, or convert them into cryptocurrency before the discontinuation of the services. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this evening, I should say. Mayor, I would like to start with you first. What's with these Binance, quitting its operation in Nigeria, especially, there have been arguments, counter-arguments about whether it was responsible for the economic woes or maybe not?
Yeah, the governor of Central Bank said several billions of dollars passed through the Binance platform without being traced to anybody in particular. And it's just like the cryptocurrency madness, which was created basically by people in the underworld to be able to screen illegal funds. When you have a platform where you cannot trace the exchange to anybody in particular, it means that it could be exposed to fraud. And in the case of Binance, the volume of the dollars, about $26 billion that passed through that platform, weakened considerably the Naira. And one of the efforts that the central bank put in place to improve the exchange rate of the Naira is that Binance itself was bad. And the executives were asked to be, I think the House of Reps said, the executive, before the House of Reps said the executives should be arrested, they have already been arrested, the top executives of the company, which shows that the company was involved in things that were not untoward, that affected the Naira. And part of the problems that we have is that we allow so many people to game the system. For example, when you look, it is bad enough that we don't have proper supervision of the banks in Nigeria, because a lot of them are involved in this problem, certainly the Naira. A lot of our banks keep dollars, and sometimes they collect dollars from the central bank, and they don't really give it to their customers. And some of them get involved in round tripping. A lot of people, even Professor Mogadu just 2 days ago, asked that the central banks needs to supervise the banks properly. Because of this lack of supervision, the banks were able to do a lot of things that affected the Naira. So when you now look at that, and you now added the problem of cryptocurrency to it, where it is a market that is not regulated, even in advanced countries, it is not regulated. If you remember that in America, there was a crisis recently when somebody that was in this, some operator like Binance that has a platform and all that has to do with cryptocurrency and the dollar and all that, was arrested for gaming a lot of people. He ran away for some time, he pleaded guilty, was arrested, pleaded guilty and all that. So what I'm saying is that because it is not regulated, you understand, it makes it dangerous for us to have a bank with the banking system that is not properly regulated, and then added the cryptocurrency market to it, which is all commerce affair. So I think it is a nice thing for the central bank to do. It is not too late to do things. When we say things like that, it just makes us to think that the past regime in the central bank have done so many harms to the economy of this country. Because why they will allow people to be able to do so much that could ruin the Naira to that extent, and they could get away with it without anybody looking at it. If, for example, there's not a change, it will have been business as usual, they'll continue doing what they were doing, and the economy will continue to go down. It is not too late to do the right thing, but it's so sad that something like that could happen.
Right, Dr. If you see Binance has been here for close to 4 years or thereabouts. Since 2020, I got to know about the app, about the platform in 2020 during COVID-19, and you saw majority of the Nigerian youths trooping to using Binance. There is Coinbase, there's Trust Wallet, there is so many of them, Luno, etc. So some are saying that this is what the youth most times, they use, in trading, instead of trading stock markets and all of that. But the Central Bank of Nigerian governor said, Olayemi Cardoso said that $26 billion suspicious flows in the form of crypto exchanges passed through Binance. But some are saying that this has no direct impact on the Nigerian economy. Do you agree with them?
Well, nobody can say it has no impact. And the reason is this. If you can trace 26 billion, then certainly you can find more. Especially when you come to think about the fact that these people are not only doing dollar, they are not just doing crypto, they are also doing Naira.
That's right.
So what it means basically is, because these sources, the sources of the funds are not traceable, somebody can put in trillions of Naira into that system, and you will know.
That's right.
Because what have we been talking about? CBN has been telling us, especially during the scarcity of the Naira, that it had a lot of money in the system, but we are not seeing it as Nigerians.
Yeah.
And on this program, we've queried, where is this money? As at about 3 weeks ago, CBN said it has $5 billion in the system, in the banks. But the banks say they don't have this money. So where is it? So it's something that we must look into. Somebody just said yesterday that there are ways in which you can trace this money back to individuals. I think we should go and...
The blockchain system also has a way of tracing...
Yeah, we should go and look for that man who knows how to help us to find it. Because our money is somewhere. And that's why I keep saying, when people say CBN is lying, CBN is lying, I say sometimes we need to give our government benefit of the doubt. Because the Naira might actually, and the dollar might actually be out of their own system. But where they are, where they kept them, is what they don't know.
But this is not the first time they're taking, they are delisting Naira on the Binance platform. It happened, some few years back, and I don't know what happened at that time, but again, it is happening again. But then the platform is still there. Some Nigerians will still be able to use it, but they won't be able to trade the Naira against the USDT or other cryptocurrency coins.
Yes, that was why I mentioned the other time that when we look at things like that, then we have to criticize the past regime and the central bank and their monetary policies. You understand? Part of it has to do with lack of supervision. Because, yes, when the central bank decided to do that, I agree that we have to move with times, and cryptocurrency is a lot of things that the young people like. Such platforms, it's kind of things they want to trade in. They don't want the Nigerian stock exchange. They don't want the stock exchange, which they believe is so cool. I agree. But the problem is, if there are no supervision, that's why I said, even in better climes, in so-called better climes, they are saying the same thing about cryptocurrency. Because how did it start in the first place? It was people in the underworld that wanted to use it to clean the illegal money. You understand? And when you want to clean illegal money, you don't really bother about a lot of things. Because
whether you lose
or not. So these people can trade at ridiculous price to the Naira. They can, because they just want the dollar. They just want the dollar, you understand? And they can do that. And then in a system where a lot of people are so, well, let me just use in quotes, corrupt, and a lot of people in the system, and they can have access to a lot of easy money. Platforms like that make it easier for them to be able to flush that money and clean it up. You understand? So yes, Binance is guilty based on the findings of the central bank. But Binance is not the problem. Binance is just an effect of a problem.
Right.
The problem is lack of supervision by the monetary authority.
All right, we have Ibrahim joining us from Ilorin. Ibrahim, make your point.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, Ibrahim, we can hear you.
Hello?
Carry on.
Hello? Okay. It's about the problem of Nigeria. Yes, the economic problem of Nigeria is $1. That is fuel. That is petrol in Nigeria. Fuel. So my advice is that they should break down the refineries into these geopolitical states, so that each geopolitical their own refineries, and from there there will be a competitor. And if this problem of fuel is solved in Nigeria, at least 40% of our problem is solved in Nigeria. You understand? So try to solve that problem. Fuel is a major problem.
That's right, Ibrahim. Your point is made, Ibrahim.
Yes.
Your point is made. Thank you very much. Your point is made. So he's suggesting that maybe the issue of Binance suspending Naira from their platform is not necessarily a problem.
No,
but,
it's a part of the problem.
It's part of the problem.
Yes.
Just like you have a car and there's so many issues around it, and just different components. One thing does not destroy the car. But
because when the boy was speaking, he also talked about round tripping. We've had this. It was more pronounced when we returned to democracy.
Yeah.
What I would like you to what I would like you to talk about is what Mayor mentioned earlier on. Because the EFCC claimed that 70% of the financial crimes in Nigeria, interestingly, are perpetrated by some of these banks, by the banks of Nigeria themselves. They are majorly, complicit in corruption practices and all of that. As a matter of fact, 2 of Nigerian banks have been suspended,
in Ghana,
trading and all of that in Ghana. What does this say about, the banking institution? Some said they are designed to steal our money.
Well, that's what we have seen over the years. In fact, till date, you will find out that a lot of people still complain. I come to the bank to drop my money. By the time I'm withdrawing it, you begin to see 53 Naira, 250 Naira going out of your system.
Yeah.
You are not really benefiting anything from it.
ATM.
Then you now go there, you want to travel. I want $1. They begin to give you.
They don't have, where would they get it?
No. Even if they are going to.
Even your own dollar, your dumb account, you can't get it.
They will begin to give you different reasons why and put a lot of obstacles, whereas the dollar is there. Because for the CBN to claim that it has about 5 billion in its own record with the banks, something is wrong, and people can't get it.
But we need
the other day they said they brought out about 1 billion.
Yeah.
But
to where?
We still couldn't feel the effect.
That's what Nigerians call audio money.
Yes, because the problem is, let us ask ourselves the question. In this bad economy, we've been having this problem now for years. Yet banks declare more profit than they've ever worked.
So how are they doing?
Where is that money coming from? We have to ask that question.
Okay, but the essence of this conversation is to find a lasting solution. What exactly do you think the government needs to do in order to whip them into line?
Government has to show courage, and the courage they need to do is that the governor of central bank has to do what he's supposed to do. Part of the problem is not all the banks. There are a lot of banks that are doing things properly. But there are a lot of people, there are a lot of banks that are just basically cowboys. It is important that the governor of central bank must come hard on banks that are not doing what they are expected to do.
That's right.
Banking has changed. And sometimes for example, if you go to your bank now, which affects me regularly, if you go to your bank and you need money, you can't get it. They don't have the money to give you. They will tell you to wait until somebody walks into the bank to deposit money. You understand? Banks are supposed to have a certain ratio they're supposed to retain from their deposits. You understand? They are supposed to be able to call on the central bank for cash deposits. But we don't have. The only thing, our banks now are basically doing things, a lot of charges, and they make a lot of money from the foreign exchange. In fact, that's where the bulk of their money comes from.
All right, we need to carry on. Anyway, the House of Representatives has actually resolved to investigate the issue of the national security implication of cryptocurrency and other digital assets transactions. But